Yeah, it's our Men in Black section. Every week we have a look at some of the controversial decisions from not just the Premier League, from other leagues as well, depending on what's happened. We're focusing on the Premier League this week because we've got enough to talk about. In fact, let's start off by talking about Harry Kane's offside yesterday in the game between Leeds and Tottenham Hotspur. Mark Halsey in The Sun today saying, are we being too forensic? And I think we probably are a little bit, especially with the offsides, in the fact that I wonder whether or not next year we change slightly to be a little bit more lenient in order to, look at the camera. If we can't discern immediately that it's definitely offside, we then allow the referee to make the initial call.
I was laughing because obviously Spurs fans would find it outrageous, right? But for football, it is outrageous because we're being duped. That isn't offside because you're getting something that's been struck off. For, at worst, I thought it was level, right?
Yes.
At worst, it's his little left toe, whatever. Yeah. And the way that he took the goal was art. It's like the dink coming over. So that's why you pay, if you're watching the telly, that's what you pay to see. That's ridiculous. The offside rule has to change. It has to change because there's too many good goals that are being struck off because someone, the VAR, if he'd have just gone, no, it's onside, no one would have complained.
No.
Nobody would have complained at all.
The problem we've got is that the IFAB, which is the International Football Association Board, which make the rules, they say offside is offside, even if it's 1 centimetre, 1 millimetre, whatever, it's offside. I think many of the Premier League officials that I speak to would like there to be a scenario where if the lines, the blue and the red lines, are overlapping or touching in any way, let's give the goals. There's too many laws and that are being introduced to rule out goals, and big toes, shoulders, all that kind of stuff. I don't think we as a football consuming public want that.
No, definitely not. You're taking away the entertainment. And that's what football's about. It's entertainment. That, for me, it's a fantastic goal. It's a great finish. Play on. Let's go from there.
Thing is as well, if any part of your legal goal scoring body is onside, then that negates that. These really small decisions. You might say, well, you might get other ones, but that negates those real borderline decisions.
Which that was.
Yeah, exactly. So something's got to happen.
Doesn't it just move the borderline? Just moves the benefit.
Yeah, exactly, because we're being duped. We're now starting thinking, what's that? I didn't get angry about that last night. When in football you go...
Because you're used to it.
Yeah, because 4 or 5 months ago you go, that's outrageous, that's ridiculous. I think Son scored a great goal for Spurs as well that got offside. Rodriguez for Everton scored a fantastic goal. James with his chest, remember he was on the...
Yeah.
With chest and smash. And then you're angry. Now you're going... Oh, well, there's another one. There's another one gone. That's dangerous, though.
Apathy.
Yes, the acceptance and apathy is dangerous.
I tell you what, I have got a bit of a rant today about VAR, and it's about communication, really, but more than anything else. The communication from the VAR to the wider general public and to those of us who work in press boxes up and down the country is shocking. It's inconsistent, and I am absolutely fed up to the back teeth of not knowing whether or not something is being checked, being reviewed, whether it is or it isn't. You're sitting in a stadium, you haven't got a clue what's going on. If you're a supporter, it sometimes can depend where in the stadium you're actually sitting as to whether or not you know if there's a VAR check going on. The fans who sit in one part of the stadium were none the wiser than others who can see the big screen. Get a system like the Champions League where everyone in the press box, because funnily enough, not everyone is watching on TV and has access like they do to the sound from the VAR in their ears, give it to everyone, get it on the scoreboards, get it on the monitors in the press box, force stadiums to have scoreboards that everybody who pays their entry money can see. And if we are going to do it, let's do it properly. I'm fed up of amateur hour. It's the Premier League, not a game of bowls down Northern Social Club, which I am thinking of joining, by the way. But it's a top-level competition. We should all have access to all the information. Yesterday, during the Manchester City game, it was clear that the VAR was checking the Raheem Sterling foul by Kurt Zouma. We didn't know whether that was the case or not. When you're doing a Champions League game, you have access to a monitor or you have access to a web page, and it flashes a band up across your screen as soon as a VAR is checking. VAR check over. For whatever the situation that may arise is.
Thing is as well, you do European, obviously Champions League, whatever, and I've done a few Europa Leagues. I won't do it next year, but you've given me enough stick that already. But they do it unbelievably quickly. They do it very quickly.
Immediately.
They don't. It's not like a minute 45 or 2 minutes 15. The VAR check is probably 20, 25 seconds, unless they want the referee to go and look at the monitor.
Because they do employ that system, especially with offside.
Right.
If it's too narrow, they
go,
won't
play on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever way it is.
So, I mean, and the other thing about it, what I'm trying to say is that even when they're checking, so even when they're just thinking, oh, should we have a quick look at that might need a proper check, they press a button to say we're checking, and everybody who's got access to that system knows about it, so we can tell everybody. You know, that should be the case for everyone in the stadium as well, and for us, so that everyone at home who's listening, or the people who are writing their reports can know that there was a check going on in that circumstance.
By the way,
it's just ridiculous.
And when they said
amateurish
that there would be teething problems,
it's been going on too long.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. If it's in the first 6 months or 8 months,
I spoke to them right at the very beginning, Perry, and I said the one thing we were talking about over and over again: information, communication, making sure everybody knows what's going on, because then people aren't sitting there speculating. Because what happens is immediately everyone just says, oh, that's a red card, that's a penalty, or whatever. No, what are they checking that for? Why? There's no information. The information flow's got to be smooth and consistent.
And quicker.
Anyway, should we go to the actual decisions? Should we start with Raheem Sterling on Timo Werner in the first half of the game, which led to a Chelsea free kick and a yellow card for Raheem? Could it have been a red?
No.
Could it have been a red?
If it was anybody other than Raheem Sterling, I think it would have been a red.
No,
when I still saw that, he's got away with it because it's Raheem Sterling.
It's a centre forwards challenge.
Well, don't matter, does it?
It does.
He's caught him.
You know, centre forwards get away with one.
Yeah.
So
it was a Paul Scholes challenge.
Yeah.
But I think other players would have gone. I think because it's Raheem Sterling, that's why he didn't get sent off.
What, you're saying it's because of his name?
Absolutely.
Or referee?
I think more of his name. Honestly, I think it's more that he's not trouble to referees normally, and he doesn't. They will say that he's not that sort of player.
So that's good refereeing then?
But that doesn't mean because you're not that sort of player that's not sending off.
So you think that's good refereeing?
No, because I think it should have been sent off.
Trevor Sinclair didn't think it was a foul.
Was a Man City player.
that is Trev.
He has got his Man City scarf and bobble hat when he's set up with you.
And glasses.
Having reviewed it a couple of times, I think you can give a red card for serious foul play. I can understand the VAR sticking with the on-field decision. I do think it's a subjective one.
Yeah, it wasn't clear and obvious.
No, it has to be clear and obvious in order for them to overturn it. You can just about accept a probably high yellow, I think, there. But it was confirmed to me by the Premier League spokesman yesterday that if a red had been shown in that circumstance,
would have been overturned.
It would not have been overturned by the VAR. They would have just gone check complete and allowed it to go.
I need VAR to start overturning some of my sending-offs.
They don't overturn ones for fighting.
Was there 5? Would you get sent off 5 times?
5 or 6, yeah, something like that.
How many by Mike Dean? 5 or 6.
8.
Billy Gilmore on Jesus for the penalty, which then Sergio Aguero missed. Penalty or not a penalty for you?
Penalty. Yeah, definitely penalty.
Thomas Tuchel said soft to me.
Very. Lazy foot, I thought it was.
Yeah, but the thing is as well with Billy Gilmore is you're too eager to just give you that distance. Yeah. So you give the referee the chance to give the penalty. I think it was a penalty.
For me, it's one of those ones in training as well. You know when you're in training, you just try and lift someone's foot up so they trip over. It's one of those ones, and you get away with it. You know, that's what it was for me. Little lazy one.
I think it falls into a similar sort of category. It's a subjective decision. Whatever the referee gives there, the VAR is not going to overturn because it's not a clear and obvious error. But I think he's given the penalty, so it's a penalty.
Yeah, but again, it's not clear. That's not VAR's there for. It's not clear and obvious.
It's not clear and obvious.
So that's fine. That's fine. Whichever way, if he doesn't give a penalty, then you can't moan and groan about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it's the same way.
Because no one really questioned it either.
No.
You know, so
Tuchel thinks it was soft.
He didn't say it wasn't a penalty, did he?
He didn't say it wasn't a penalty. He said it was soft, and I think he kind of thought. In fact, he actually said he thinks the reason that Kurt Zouma on Sterling wasn't given,
which was a penalty,
because they'd given the one for Billy Gilmore, and he believed that the referee wouldn't give another one for a similar sort of on-the-line subjective challenge. Now, I think it's a penalty.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a stonewalled as some people were making out.
It's a penalty, though.
But I think it's underscored by the fact that having looked at the VAR doesn't overturn it. So it's another one of those.
Yeah.
Whatever decisions you make on the field, the VAR is not getting involved because it's not a clear and obvious error.
Yes, but then that's anti-Taylor being influenced by a decision that you made before. Whereas if you want consistency, that one, Kurt Zouma one, is more of a penalty than.
But I don't think
Do
that
you know
what
what
happened
consistency
yesterday.
is? Yeah, me personally, get rid of it.
What, VAR?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that's never.
But ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. So yeah.
You know,
That ain't gonna happen.
because we're arguing. People are arguing about this stuff every week now. You tell me, I said, where are we going?
Well, do you know what? I'm actually quite pleased we're still arguing about it because there was a sort of feeling that as soon as VAR came in, we'd have nothing to talk about. But believe me, we've had more than enough.
Well, that was supposed to clear up all those incidents, wasn't it? And the other thing as well, I think a referee should be able to give a penalty for a defender being silly. Just go,
That'd be
you've been very
ridiculous.
silly, you've been a silly boy trying to win the
Two
ball from the wrong
forwards.
side. From
Two
the wrong
forwards in
side,
here.
he's in front of you. Why are you getting that close to him? Why are you having contact
If
with
I'm
him?
playing now, then
'Cause
I'm diving all the time.
You've been, as long as
Most
there's
people
contact.
do.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I was too honest for that.
I don't have a problem with any of the decisions in that game yesterday because I think that all of them are on the line of someone's got to make a call here and they're going to go either
none of
way.
them were outrageous.
None of them are outrageous.
No.
And that is what the VAR is there to clear up. That
That's
was the
fine.
initial reason for bringing it in. So I think ultimately, look, one week we want someone who makes a call, uses common sense, let it go if you can't tell after 2 replays that it was a clear and obvious error. The next week we want forensic analysis. They're all subjective decisions, all borderline. As far as I'm concerned, crack on.
Yeah.
So are we saying well done VAR then?
I actually think yesterday, no problem with that. I think if Sterling had been sent off, I would have been left thinking,
No, I'm not sure.
I'm
No,
not having that. I
I've-
don't want that to happen.
I've got a problem with the Harry Kane offside one.
I've got that
a
one. No,
yeah.
that's different. I'm talking about
Yeah.
the Man City game.
Yeah.
The Man City game and Chelsea game, I'm sort of like, I'm taking all of those
Yeah, yeah,
decisions.
yeah.
They didn't send Sterling off. I'm pretty happy with that. The Billy Gilmore penalty, I can't moan too much about that. The Zouma getting a little bit of Sterling, okay, they might have got away with one. But again, I'm not pulling my hair out going, that is an outrageous decision. The Harry Kane one, obviously, I'm going, crikey,
That's
come
anti-football.
on, it's anti-football.
It
You're
is.
denying a goal
Absolutely.
that we want to see. So, yeah, okay, I get that one. But the others, crack on.